you listening to?
The music?
Yeah, what's your travel music?
I've been listening to Nucci and 3 Black all weekend. I was in Dallas. That's what I was listening to. And then of course I've been listening to Busta album.
I gotta listen to Busta's album.
Yeah, I fell on Busta album when I was listening to what's that nigga name that signed the Rock Nation? They had that collab album with Jay-Z.
I'm not even sure.
Jay Electronica?
Yeah, Jay Electronica. So after his album ended, you know, title goes to the next preferred artist, and then they started playing Busta Rhymes, and I just left it on there. I was like, this album is nice.
Yeah, Busta went in. I ain't gonna hold.
That Poison sample, right?
And I like that Michael Jackson joint.
Yeah.
How he used the Michael Jackson joint.
I gotta check it out.
Mariah Carey.
Yo.
Money, you there?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Oh.
Freeez, what up?
All right, so look, I'm gonna give y'all the disclaimers real quick. You know, I do this. It's really just for me and us to connect and stay connected. You know, that's really what this Stu Review thing is about. It's not really about. It's different from like, you know, what Bird is doing like on Clubhouse, where it's a whole bunch of people in there and all that. That's dope. That's dope too. This is more like an intimate thing, us to chop it up. It's been a pandemic going on. We ain't outside like that. We ain't bumping into each other at all the you know, events, you know what I'm saying? And you know, so this is a way for the industry to stay connected. You know, we used to
so how do we get the vaccine?
meetings back in.
300 million Americans vaccinated.
Have like people from like you know, the label side come down and sit with the DJs and rock out.
Alex Wagner, the co-host, executive producer of Showtime Circus, and as a disclosure, long time.
And you know, just stay connected on what's vibing, what's going on, staying connected. So that's what this is. I record it. I put it out. I put it back up on YouTube for people to come check out. And now we're getting into the phase of like having reoccurring guests. Freeez is a reoccurring guest. I'm definitely going to be hitting y'all up later on down the line as we evolve the platform and maybe even take it somewhere else besides Zoom to connect with a wider audience. But I thank y'all for tapping in with me, you know what I'm saying, and catching up. I'm glad I get to catch up with you guys and see what's going on. In y'all worlds, you know what I'm saying, musically, culturally, lifestyle, all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
For sure. Come on, Steve.
Sir, man. Thank you for inviting me back to the table.
Reoccurring guest, DJ Freeez, you know what I'm saying? But the way I like to do it is like, you know, to set it off, I kind of have everybody talk about, you know what I'm saying, their journey real quick, how they got started DJing, how they got started, you know, on the label side, just doing what you're doing, you know, in the industry and in life. So we're going to set it off with DJ Freeez. He's first in my catch right here in my little, in my order. So Freeez, go ahead, man. Talk real quick about how you got started. I know your story. I can almost tell your story now, but talk about from your humble beginnings to how you became the world famous DJ Freeez.
Yo, I started over in New Jersey, man. I mean, like, I built my own studio. I built my own recording studio. So me and my friends, we used to dabble into rapping and stuff. So I would do odd jobs trying to get studio time and whatnot. So in the summers or when school was like out or something like that, we would go to the recording studio. It was like $35 an hour, but you know, as some middle schoolers, that shit kind of costs a lot. So we would probably go into the studio like once a month. So whenever I was in the studio, I learned the equipment, I learned the software, and how everything in the recording process operated. So I put that stuff in my garage. And back then, like I think like 2006, that was the time when like Lil Wayne was rapping over other people's beats, but would still have the hook on it. And I didn't know how to do that with software. So my mom, for Christmas, she bought me a little DJ console. Mm-hmm. So I was able to take the original song's hook or chorus and put them inside the instrumental, so we could rap on a verse, and then it would be, you know, the mainstream instrumental. So that way I started learning how to blend and put songs in the structure it was supposed to be at. And then by the time I had the equipment, I was already a big ass fan of Jersey club music. So I used to buy CDs from K-Swift and UnrulyRecords.com and Black Star, and DJ Tamil was popping up in Newark, and DJ Tim Dollar, DJ Drew. So I was the person in my town with the most club music. And I'm sorry, record labels, but I was bootlegging the fuck out of CDs. So I'm talking about every album, every mixtape. LimeWire was, no, not Lime. I think it was LimeWire. It was LimeWire after.
Wow, LimeWire.
After Napster.
Yeah, after Napster got shut down, that's when you kind of learned how to download, because you learned how people fucked up. So with me being mad careful on LimeWire, I knew how to download. Fuck up and odd jobs. I was hustling, and people were selling candy, people were selling weed, I was selling CDs. So not only did I have the most club music, I had the most hip hop in my computer that everybody liked. Like I learned what albums people liked. I learned what mixtapes people liked. So I had the DJ equipment. I didn't have speakers. I had the DJ equipment. I had the music. I had the on-demand music. And so we would be doing house parties and shit like that, like 150, 4-hour house parties for like 150. And that's how I got started.
Yeah.
So.
And then you took that down to the DMV, right? That was up in Jersey, or you're already in the DMV by this time?
That's like middle school. By the time I hit high school, I started perfecting the craft. I started really honing into listening to DJ Spinbad. I was listening to Camilo. I was listening to Pro Style. Pro Style was really flexing on the radio.
Yeah.
Before he was the music director, you know what I'm saying? Like niggas was nasty with it. So I used to learn how to DJ by listening to radio DJs. So by the time I did come up to Maryland, I came to Maryland on a track scholarship, but I had no cash money in my pocket.
Okay.
Say it again?
I said,
yeah, man, I'm a state champion. I'm a state champion in track. You know, we Jamaican. You know, that's what we do.
Yeah.
So my first year in college, I ain't had no cash money in my pocket because it was like off scholarship. But shit, I ain't have the money. I ain't have no money in my pocket. So So I think that winter break, I brought up my DJ equipment, and niggas didn't know I could DJ. Niggas didn't know I DJ'd whatsoever, because I was, you know, when you sports, that's all you are in college.
Right.
So when I started DJing, I said, fuck it, I'm going to just set my shit up right here in the middle of the promenade. If you ever been to Bowie State University, we got this long-ass strip. So I linked up with a few of the rappers who didn't know I DJ'd a little bit, and they let me hook my extension cord in they dorm room. We dragged it out the window. I stretched it as far as I could so I could get the most visibility on the strip. And I was just blasting music, DJing until I got enough attention for the campus police to shut me down. And they used to shut me down a whole lot. There was they'd never seen a DJ on campus before. Like, I don't know. Like over at Bowie State, there wasn't like no DJs on campus. So I took that market and I ran with it. And you know, the internships at Midi East and Listen Visions, meeting you and opening up for DJ Gemini, opening it up for Analyze and Tay James and all of them. So that's how I got my stain over in the DMV. Oh, and academics, yeah, man. I shook a whole lot of hands, you know, just being in the market of college. And, you know, I landed in the best radio station of the history of DMV. So that's my story.
WKYS, you know what I'm saying? DJ Money, yeah, I know you crossed paths with DJ Money along that journey. And
yes, man. Man, when I came from New Jersey, I was like, yo, I tell them this all the time. I'm like, yo, who is the best DJ? Because as I said, I learned from listening to radio DJs. That's how I learned how to DJ. I'm like, yo, who's the best DJ down here? Everybody unanimously would say DJ Money. And you turn on the radio, of course you're going to hear, oh my God again.
Oh my God again.
I appreciate that.
Yo,
I appreciate that.
So talk about your journey, how you got to become the world famous Mr. Oh my God again. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, it's a long story, but I'll say this, right? My father, of course, he introduced me to music, a lot of soul music. So like during the sample era, I knew so many of those records. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up listening to like the Dell Stylistics, Quartet, Stevie, all that stuff. I actually want to tell the story. I forgot. I didn't forget about it, but I don't tell this story enough. When I first got on air, was because of you. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even. Yeah, exactly, because of you. Because like, so Stu pretty much. I wanted to be on air so bad. Like I used to come up to the station and like, if folks that know me, I worked at this spot called Love, of course, that like was like the Mecca on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I wasn't even getting paid. So I was like engineering on the side, doing other little shit, you know what I'm saying? Just to get just to be straight. And I wanted to be on air so bad, you know what I'm saying? And I remember the week that I was like, man, fuck it. Like, whatever, man. I don't even give a fuck no more. I'm going to just do what I do. Right. I'm hot here. I'm chilling, da-da-da-da. Gilbert Arenas had this birthday party where it was so crazy. It was like $1.5 million or something like that.
They was giving out the black cards. You had to have the black cards.
Yeah, about the black cards. Yeah. And shout out to Sid the Entertainer because he came last minute. So they ended up moving the entire KISS staff to my floor. Now, mind you, I knew Analyze, I knew Stu, I knew a couple of folks, Ill Will, Zay. So I used to just come up there. But, you know, nobody cared, but I was hot in, like, the streets. Right. So, like me and Stu used to be out, and was it Dion I think Dion was the PD then, right? I think it was Dion. Or APD. She might be APD. But they all was there with a table. And I literally spun from 6 p.m. to like 3 a.m. And I never did a record twice. Right. And I remember they asked you who I was. Right. And you were like, oh, that's my guy. He's good. And you came over and was like, yo, tomorrow you got to come back to the station. They want to meet you. And that was a Friday or Saturday night, and then I came up on Monday, signed by Thursday. So like, I always want to say that to you, Stu. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But now, I feel connected to all of y'all in different ways in the market. Yeah, I've been out, I've been in the market so long, so I feel connected to mostly everybody that came after me. I feel connected to in some way because we connected to the vibe somehow in the streets, and always, man, even Freeez. Like I remember when Gemini it was that last round of DJs he was putting on, and he was like, yo, give me one. You know what I'm saying? And he already had Freeez on the list. I'm like, Freeez, that's my guy. We doing stuff at Listen Vision. I'm like, he young, he college. I'm like, he hungry, different, you know what I'm saying? Like personality, So, I feel connected to all y'all, you know what I'm saying? And the DJ journey is always, a roller coaster journey. You know what I'm saying? You got them ups, but you got them downs too. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like you feel like, man, am I ever going to get the crossover to that next level? And you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Are people noticing what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. And then y'all actually were part of an era of a DJ boom. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ushered in the DMV. Y'all kind of ushered in a DJ boom in the DMV.
But it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool at first. I always tell people, yo, when I was spinning, it wasn't cool. When I was like in high school, I used to not even tell folks that I was spinning because I wanted to like songwrite and produce so bad.
And I think Amir, anybody that has any connections to the DMV can attest to this. The vibes in the DMV on the night scene for a long time, the promoters were like, we the shit. It's about us. It ain't about the DJ. It's about the promoters. You know what I'm saying? Our crowd. And so like it was like a moment. It was some things. It was, I mean, like fights. I remember Mark Barnes and DJs fighting. I mean, it's real shit in the city for a minute for like y'all for people to recognize like, nah, like you can't have a party, no music, no DJ. You know what I'm saying? No DJ, no party. Like
right.
You can't have the party without the DJ. Like, yeah, you got a certain skill set when it comes to promotions and attracting a crowd and all that. But once they get in there, it's them DJs that keep them coming back. You know what I'm saying? That provide them vibes. And y'all was part of that era, especially you, Money. You know, Freeez came. Because by the time Freeez came, the market kind of had already went through that. You know what I'm saying?
There was like no DJs at Bowie State. Like we were booked, like for the homecomings, we were booking outside, out of the state DJs or whoever.
It wasn't cool, man. That is crazy. Like, and I say this too. Like Stu, I know you seen a lot of cats come in and out. Like there's a lot of folks that wanted to get into a place. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen it too. But a lot of folks either gave up or felt like they weren't good enough. But you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people tell me that I can have like they always respect me because they feel like, yo, you ain't had no stamp, you ain't had no management. I say, yeah, but behind the scenes was a lot of folks that was like really, really championing me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because they see my work ethic. Like Stu, folks don't know how many times that I was up at them stations and no one cared. When I was begging y'all for records. And Chris know too. When I was begging y'all for records and asking like, yo, if you just got one triple, if I could just get one, I didn't care what it was. He had a DMX record. If a Dragon came with it, let me, you don't want it, let me get that. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sab too. Sab was another one. Like it was not a lot of people. Amir know too. You know what I'm saying? It was not a lot of folks that was like giving me records. Like it was like Analyze, Ivan, Stu, Zay. You know what I'm saying? Trini, sometimes when it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he had to bomb first. And I feel it. You know what I'm saying? So it was what it was, man. I always appreciate y'all for that.
Nah, no doubt. And then like my man Amir over here, he's got a special resume because he's one of the few cats that's been able to do both, do radio and do the record label side. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us know him from the label side, but y'all, Amir was you know, a promotions guru on the radio side, you know, as well. So Amir, talk a little bit about your journey, you know what I'm saying, how you got started in the industry and how you got to become the world famous Amir Boyd, you know what I'm saying? You on mute. You on mute.
All right, for me, I appreciate you, bro. For me, I think I always try to start my story similar to what Freeez did in college because that's where I realized I had a niche for getting people to do things for me without paying them for, you know, another, you know, promotion. I started throwing parties in college. Literally was throwing I live right across the street from campus, and they actually started out as cookout. I'm always been the kind of person that whatever I want, I go create it. So if I want a vibe, I go create the vibe. And Morgan at the time, far as go-go, starting, you know, the typical go-go stuff. And I always had a Walkman with me, so I would have cassette tapes in my backpack, and I was always listening to go-go music. So I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna have a party, and it's just gonna be go-go music. And I was having these go-go parties. They started out as cookouts, but then I had a dual cassette player. My homeboy would bring that shit over my house, and I would literally be DJing with dual cassettes, like hitting that pause button. I knew the music so well that I knew when to punch in and punch out on cassette tape. And so from there, I had some other R&N jobs, but one day in college, I just was like, I'm about to go work for Jay-Z and Snoop Dogg and them. And I ain't had no idea how, but I remember telling one of the homies that I wanted to be in the music business. Granted, I went to school to be a history teacher. So however, long story short, I ended up at radio, but at the competition of you guys, where all you guys started at WPGC. At the time, Nonchalant and Frex and Donnie and Tigger and shit, man, it was so many people. Osei, it was legendary. Yeah, it was so many people over there that actually, you know, I think that time of in radio, people were still learning radio. You know what I'm saying? And it was actually a good place to learn radio from. You know, Jay Stevens, Reggie Rouse, Ian Mitchum, all of them there at that time. CBS ended up opening up another radio station, and I was just a promotions person with Tony Reds. Me and Tony Reds started in the same week at PDC. Rest in peace to Tony Reds. And the reason they hired me was because Tony Reds didn't have a good driving record, so they needed him to open the mic, but they needed somebody to move him around, so they hired me. When I got in there, I took advantage of it. I was like, oh shit, this is what I've been waiting on. This is my end. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to do everything in this motherfucker. So from running the board to doing engineering to putting up posters and banners to being the first person there, being the last person there, I made myself so valuable to that radio station. When somebody quit who had the position that I wanted, they didn't give me the money, but they kept me on, and I just was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep learning, and an opportunity is gonna come up. And so and it so did. Thea ended up being a program director at her first radio station in Baltimore, and she hired me as her assistant promotions director. So at that time, Quicksilver, Quicksilver had never been on the radio before. This was his introduction in the radio, and Lil Mo, and
what was the station? Tell him.
It was X1057. Yeah, X1057. Osei, DJ B, Mocha, Malika Millette, all of us were doing radio.
But now legendary names.
Yeah, in Baltimore, and they did. It was a new station, but so the jocks didn't want to go out and do stuff in the streets as much because, you know, it wasn't a whole lot of money. So they was giving me shit. I had my own little premier promotions package that the sales team was selling to folks in Baltimore. So I was hosting comedy shows. I was hosting like poetry slams, because poetry slams was big back then. I was hosting fucking everything. You name it, I was hosting in the city in Baltimore. And shit, I had been trying to get to, Frank Ski was on the morning show, and I had been trying to get to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So I had gone down there for a couple of promotions director jobs. Jay Stevens sent me out to Austin, Texas for a promotions director job one time. I didn't get it, but it was cool. But so I just became like known for this promotion stuff. And then shit, one day All-Star Weekend was in Denver. I'll never forget this. I was driving to DC from Atlanta. I ended up moving to Atlanta, being a promotions coordinator or whatever, promotions manager. Helped create a whole street team there. They didn't know anything about street teams, anything. This was all because of Frank Ski kept going back to Atlanta. Like, man, y'all need to hire Amir. Y'all need to hire Amir. Y'all need to figure out how to get Amir down here. And I ended up down there. So then I jumped from radio. All-Star Weekend, I get a call from Kevin Loud. Now I had already had a little relationship with Kevin because he's from Baltimore, and I went to school there, and I'm doing radio there, and Thea was the program director. But Thea still was kind of trying to push me into on the music side, programming side. and she would introduce me to everybody, and we all go out to dinner and all that kind of shit. So Kevin called me one day and was like, "Yo, I hear you the shit. I'm, and I had saw him at a Frank Ski wine tasting. And was like, "Yo, I know you leaving Def Jam. Whatever you involved in, I want to be involved in it too." And he ended up calling me on All-Star Weekend. I was driving up to DC, and he's like, "Yo, I hear you the shit." And I'm like, "I'm cool." Like, he like, "Nah, nigga. Come on up. I'm gonna fly you up for an interview. Fly you to New York for an interview." I get to New York. The interview was at this house, and he really just trying to see if you can kick it, because y'all know too, like, we all know each other because we actually kick it with each other when we around each other. Like, Stu, you done been to my house, nigga. It's like it ain't but like probably one other person in Atlanta that can say they've been to my house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we all kick it. Money, I kicked it with you. We all done kicked it in different places, Chris. I've been out there to see you, whatever. So it all was an interview just to see if we could kick it. I ended up being the Southeast Regional for Atlantic, which was a special ops division, which was just a different division of promo people who come from different walks of life. And so we did all the bad boy stuff. We did the Trina stuff. We did so much stuff. We was helping with, it was 2 staffs at Atlantic, so we was helping with, some of the Atlantic Profit stuff, some of the TI stuff, whatever was big sometimes. And I just began to, like, move my way around the South.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just kind of just started doing my thing down there for real. And then I ended up leaving Atlantic to go to Interscope. And so then I ended up having Georgia and Florida. And I was like, oh, shit, this was, so all the 50 Cent shit, the In the Club shit, the Robin Thicke shit, like working all these records, being on the road with all these artists, Rich Boy. I ended up leaving there and going back to radio to be the music director in Atlanta. The music director for about a year with Reggie Rouse. That didn't work out. Tip was getting ready to go to jail, and Jason called me. He's like, "Yo, I need you on the team." So, shit, I was Grand Hustle. So, Young LA, like Dro, all that shit. B.O.B., fucking A-Ball, MJG, Killer Mike. There's just names and names and names and names. Supposed to be people I ended up working with. But before that, before Tip went to jail, they put me on the road with him. So now my reach is national. Like, I'm meeting niggas all over the country fucking with Tip. We go on the road for 8 weeks. I'm meeting everybody. And I'm coming back and seeing the people that I know, like Stu and everybody in D.C. So the Grand Hustle shit is something that I'm going to always be a part of. I ended up leaving Grand Hustle, going to Epic. I told them about Future. They signed them. They gave me a job. I put them on the cash out. I left Epic. Did some shit with Shaka and Jason called Culture Republic. We was managing this artist named Nick Grant. Did that for a little bit. Then shit. Now I'm the senior national at Interscope. 3 years in. And,
it's dope too. And like we had Jay Andino on, Jason Griffith. Like every time we, one thing about this industry is that you could always be in it. If you're authentic and you're about your shit and you build these relationships off your connections, and you can always be in it, always be in the mix, always doing something, always have a job, always just be in it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
you're definitely a true testament of that. I know myself. I haven't filled out a job application since fucking, I don't even remember. I know I ain't filled out no job application in the last 25 years because I've been doing what I love to do for the last 25 years.
You see what I'm saying?
And what happens is people want you on their team. Like literally, people was coming to me like, "Yo, man, like my homie, he don't like for me to call him my boss, but he is now. But he's my homie. He's SVP at Interscope. He the reason I ended up at Interscope the first time because we went down to a radio station in Columbus. I'll never forget, and we had the Puff album. It was called Press Play, and the PlayStation, the handheld PlayStations had just came out, and they had play button on it. So we at the radio station trying to pitch our record, and Keenan just, talking to him, giving them numbers and all that shit. I knew I needed more than numbers, so I was like, "Yo, what's up? Let me give away some things that have the press play button on them." Man, we gave away them PSPs, and then on the way back, Keenan was like, "Man, listen, I'm getting ready to get a promotion, nigga. I want you on my team." That shit was dope. And that's how my career been. Like straight up. Even this job that I'm in now, like, yo, somebody lose a job, that means I can put my name in the pot. oh, we already put your name in the pot, brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about, you know, the relationships. And like you said, that shit always come back full circle.
Always. And then now currently, like you know, we going through a pandemic. The industry is going through a shift. We all virtually doing, you know, trying to make the most of it. How do you feel like all of y'all could chime in on this too? Like the interaction has been throughout the industry through this time with like the label side, the DJs, you know, add in, of course, there's all, you know, we in the streaming world too, you know what I'm saying? But what's the relationship like these days between the labels and radio and DJs and stuff like that?
Well, I can speak on the label side first and foremost because you know, that's why I am. But I deal with the DJs and everything too. I think, you know, shifting and knowing how to pivot and understanding change and being able to say fuck and then get the fuck it like in 20 seconds. That shit has been like everything we've had to do. You know what I'm saying? But people wasn't really using it like that. And now we not in office. I've been way more busier now than I was in office, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because now we doing these Zoom calls, they back to back to back to back. And then when you still need to communicate with the DJs and the artists and have some sort of interaction. And I know us at Interscope, we came out the gate with kind of like big artists doing the interaction, doing the ID lives and the Zoom calls. We came out the gate doing some of our bigger known artists doing that. And it was important because they were all sitting on the runway with their career almost like, you know, Moneybagg Yo was like a perfect example. He's had two really big records during the pandemic. One is still going, and one that hopefully we'll get up to number one. But the 1, 2, 3 record, like that was all about to be, you know, he was sitting on the runway with these records. Basically, his career was like almost about to take off, and now he damn near almost a whole household name. So
my daughter's favorite artist.
yeah. So we had to crank him up, and the first thing we did was put him on IG Live with almost everybody, Zoom for almost everybody, like cranking him up as much as possible. We had to do the same thing with Lil Mosey. So I think the internet and these Zooms and being able to understand transition and being able to understand how you may have to pivot sometimes, because we're in a business that's going to pivot all the time anyway. Every 5 to 6 years, something's going to pivot and we're going to have to change what we do. So we somewhat pretty much accustomed to doing this shit. It's just that, you know, it's a whole bunch of other shit that's going on with it that's kind of making it suck at the same time, but it's been a lot of blessings at the same time too. So I think, you know, the interaction like has been really engaging. You know what I'm saying? Artists ain't got no choice but to come holler at y'all. You know what I mean? Like, or they gonna be forgotten about. You know what I'm saying? So that's and they got time. So that's you know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk from the DJ side.
If it don't panic, it's been my mantra this whole time, and I think a lot of it has to do with, from the artist side, you have to speak to folks now, like folks that don't want to engage, they have to, because it's like we're at a point of like, how else are they gonna hear about you? There's no show, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it forces folks to kind of like engage more with people, and I think it's been a good thing from the side of like building, like you find out how strong your relationships are too with a lot of folks during this time. Like me and Amir spoke a bunch of times just about life. You know what I'm saying? Like and during that time, like I don't know about you, Amir, but during that time it just showed me like, damn, like me and Amir are probably closer than I realized. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because of how long I've known him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you have these superficial relationships with folks, and then when real shit happens, it's only gonna be a couple folks that really gonna like mess with you,
right?
Regardless of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, it's been like since I stopped doing on air as much, there's been a lot of folks that don't call. But then, you know, when I got a number one last year, a lot of folks call back again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm used to it, but it's like one of those things this year, it really cut the grass for me. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I can call you, Stu and Freeez and Amir and even Chris. Me and Chris trading jokes on DMs and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me just means more than just like Yeah, and y'all know I don't even like sell y'all on stuff. I think Amir, I know you for 10 plus years. I sold you on, try to sell you on one thing that you love, right? And it's like, that's never even been my bag. You know what I'm saying? But Amir, no, if I'm on air, if he got something he like, yo, I need, it's easy. Same thing with you, Stu. Like, you know, like you need me, Stu, it's easy, you know?
That's definitely off of relationships, you know what I'm saying? And like Freeez, I see too, through the pandemic, I feel like you've been able to trade on that New Before Two, on your New Before Two mix and build a platform up with that. That's turning into a brand, you know, that labels hit me like, yo, we need to get on the New Before Two. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, you know, do you feel like this shift in the pandemic has helped you in that way? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know a lot of DJs have suffered a little bit when it comes to clubs and making money, but I feel like it also have gave some opportunity to really focus on honing on their brand as well.
Yeah, I'm real proud of what the New Before Two has become. I could say probably in the middle of the pandemic, maybe around like June or July, Urban One has started doing these conference calls. So like at this time, I feel like Urban One DJs are the strongest coalition of DJs on the continent right now, like in the country right now, because we do a call every Thursday and we talk to each other, like from Dallas to Philly, Baltimore, Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland. Like we all are in one chat, which makes us cohesively on the same page with a lot of old relationships and new relationships. Like we were on the conference call with Chloe and Halle. We were also on a conference call with Monica, T.I., Busta Rhymes, and DDG, you know, these old and new artists at the same time. So, you know, relationships do matter. And I love having these, I like chiming in on relationships. Like Kobe Cole goes way back with Busta Rhymes. And I've never met Busta Rhymes before, but just off of that organic conversation with Kobe being my big homie, I'm like, yo, I really feel like I know Busta Rhymes at this point. Right. So like, you know, these Zoom calls definitely do excite the DJs when it comes to new music by seasoned artists. And personally, I believe that it's really, really hard for new artists at this time. I agree. So I chose to focus on that. So I already have respect for the T.I.s and the Lil Babies and the Drakes, people who established themselves throughout these past 2 years, and Roddy Ricches, who are still new but trying to still garnish that territory. Yeah. I just saw that there was a weak spot for brand new artists, such as like an Erica Banks or a 3-0 Black or Lil Mosey. You know, these brand new artists who were right at the cusp of.
I'm coming at you with, and yeah, because that's the vibe for the New Before Two. It's like you got, and that's talks a little bit to those runway records and those runway artists that Amir was talking about. Like, you know, without being able to get out here and do real promo like that was happening that we're accustomed to doing. It's like how can we break these artists and break these records and you know, and those platforms like the New Before Two are those platforms that are being created by DJs and different people throughout the country that labels are, you know, coming to rely on to help break records and new artists. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. These labels are leaning on playlists of these streaming platforms. So that's why I kind of started, like the New Before Two just isn't a mix show, but it's also a playlist. It's a reference point for new music. So it's not just, you know, this 1 hour a week you could catch new music. If you miss it, you miss it. It's like I put a playlist up, and even when I posted on KYSDC the songs I played on that mix, and that's just kind of for these record labels and these artists, because there's always that argument of if radio matters or not, because it doesn't have that standstill, you know, like once you play it, it's gone.
Now, I don't want the artist to feel that way. I want the artist to feel recognized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just play and then the next song, but at least, you know, a kind of, you know, a trophy, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? A screenshot, it makes them feel good. A shout out, it makes them feel good. So, you know, I run the New Before too, much like a streaming platform playlist. And I see a lot of reception when I run it like that, rather it be just, you know, like an hour and then I never speak of the song again.
Right. Now, it's dope. Definitely a dope platform. I want to get into the review part because y'all know we can sit here and talk hours and hours and hours about, you know, this industry, this wonderful industry of ours and all the happenings, and we all got stories. We all connected. So I want to get into the review part, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to set it off. And Money, one of your records that you sent me was one of my records, of course, because I knew you was going to be on here. Plus, I like this record. I wanted to review this brand new Wale, DJ Money.
Oh yeah, need that.
Bengals and Bears joint. You know what I'm saying? Talk about this record, Money.
I mean, I'm about to put out more music, but I really wanted to like start because I'm ingrained in like soul and rap, right? So I've always had this balance of like wanting to make sure I appease both sides of my palette. You know what I'm saying? So with me putting out records, of course, you know, Khaled and Drama and these folks, I never wanted to get bogged in that space. I wanted to have my own lane. So I wanted to be like the Pharrell of deep DJs. So I want to be able to put out a record like this and then put out a hit record, then put out a house record if I want to. So I wanted to really start my new, you know what I'm saying, journey with this record. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like this is a great buzz record. It's a record to get folks' attention and getting a lot of love. So Lions, Bengals, Bears.
Just to be clear, you produced it?
Yep. Me and my boy Chad Paul. Shout out to Chad Paul too.
Here go right here, DJ Money, Wale, Lions, Bengals, and Bears.
Yo, we can't hear it.
Can't hear it? Hold on.
Lions, Bengals, and Bears, none of my guys scared. Chase rumbling, any one of them guys there. Wayne young and he hungry. I pray we patient with him. I pray he leave with some money. I pray he leave with his health. Yeah, the physical and mental. The thing I like about football is that stats kill opinions. This rap shit, I lick the niggas. I ain't about to knock it. This whole summer I was buying all the winter product. And I tried being peaceful, but my peace was getting bothered. So no doubt we got them Eagles. We go Carson Wentz, Stefani. Niggas say what's up with me. Then they say what's up to me. They say I be lonely, but this weapon keep me company. Niggas think it's up with me. Y'all don't want no problem, bro. Niggas say it's up with me. Well, buddy, this is insomnia. And I'm not passive, but you know I'm not gonna stop. You got to travel, right? You ain't got the block. They'll probably get you done without a afterthought. But you probably hurt yourself. You niggas guts for rock. Yeah, Olu for Lauren, running like 2 minute offense. Like Kurt Warner, I'm Marshall Falk, I'm a fucking problem. You niggas playing both sides, but I am in my prime. I high step, if I pick 6, it ain't 49. It's 60, nigga. See these women with us? Some gon' play with their nose like they hitting us, you know? Look, that's all I gotta say. Young Valorans, young Peyton, money's Jeff Saturday. Omaha. Or the bull, I'm calling all the bills I got is blue. I be digging on my routes. I be stuck up in this condo whole time I got a house. And these bitches get the blitzing while I'm checking bitches down. Checking on some DMs, check they page, she got a spouse, but clout. Lions, Bengals, and Bears. I'm fighting demons and fears. I tighten up when it's time, and Mike Vrabel ain't here. Yeah.
Ooh, listen.
A lot of bars in that, man.
A whole lot of bars in that. And the thing that, so clearly it's a sports theme, NFL theme, football theme, you know, the theme is there, but if you don't know nothing about sports or football, I mean, this record's still rocking. It's still bars in there that you could pick up on, but if you're a sports head and a hip hop head, this record right here is like, oh my God, this is bars.
Yeah, And I said the music is for the women, but the bars is for the dudes. So it's a great, you know what I'm saying?
What you think, Freeez? What you think of that record? Can we get that on the new Before 2 this week?
Yeah, yo. When I first heard the record, like as you said, it is for sports heads. So I didn't understand it when I first heard it, and then I saw the visuals with it. Like one of the parts that stood out the most is these girls playing with their nose like they hitting the center. And when you put the visual to it, I'm like, yo, that was one of the craziest plays. How could I not understand that? And everything started clicking. It's kind of like Wale is evolving into the best era of Jay-Z.
So I messed up then. Hold on, we gotta run it back then because it's a video.
Well, is it? You started putting out like clips to it.
Yeah, we did like a video with all the football stuff. So just so folks could get it that never, you know what I'm saying?
I applaud that editor, bro. That editor to make a compilation like that was so immaculate.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Like it's that playback value, you know? It's that genius.com playback value.
Appreciate it.
Oh, it's official.
Big grin come across your face.
I was so happy. I was kind of scared. I thought I would ask so much money and had to put no layaway.
Lions, Bengals, and Bears, none of my guys scared. Chase rumbling, any one of them guys there. Wayne young and he hungry. I pray we patient with him. I pray he leave with some money. I pray he leave with his health. Yeah, the physical and mental. The thing I like about football is that stats kill opinions. This rap shit, I lick them niggas. I ain't about to knock it. This whole summer I was buying all the winter product. And I tried being peaceful, but my peace was getting bothered. So no doubt we got them Eagles. We go Carson Wentz, Stephani. Niggas say what's up with me. Then they say what's up to me. They say I be lonely, but this weapon keep me company. Niggas think it's up with me. Y'all don't want no problem, bro. Niggas say it's up with me. Well, buddy, this is insomnia. And I'm not passive, but you know I'm not gonna stop. You gotta scramble, right? You ain't got the block. I could probably get you down without a afterthought. But you probably hurt yourself. You niggas guts for rock. Yeah, Olu Falarin, running like 2-minute offense. Like Kurt Warner, I'm Marshall Falk, I'm a fucking problem. You niggas playing both sides, but I am in my prime. I high step, if I pick 6, it ain't 49. It's 60, nigga. See these women with us? Some gon' play with their nose like they hitting the center. That's all I gotta say. Young Polaris, young Peyton, money's Jeff Saturday. Omaha, all the bills I'm calling out. All the bills I got is blue. I be digging on my routes. I be stuck up in this condo whole time I got a house. And these bitches get the blitzing while I'm checking bitches down. Checking on some DM, check they page, she got a spouse, but clout. Lions, Bengals, and Bears. I'm fighting demons and fears. I tighten up when it's time.
Yo, listen.
It's like watching a Madden intro.
That visual is crazy. That visual.
Yo, everything just came together so fluently, yo. We watch, yo, that shit is wet.
Everything fits. We got to get that on the new Before 2 money. Hey, Freeez, we making a push for the new Before 2, man.
Let's go, man. I got some more stuff coming too, man. I got some more.
Yeah, that shit hard, bro. Let me tell you this. Don't sleep on these girls, bro. They be knowing that football shit. A lot of the girls I know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Hey, Mayor, let's get into one of your joints. What you pushing right now on the Interscope side?
Shit. Damn. I'm trying to think which one. Cause everything kind of moving.
Is there anything that's fairly new or?
Yeah, this Lil Mosey record. He got a new record. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. He got a new record that we actually just put out the other day. Hold on. Let me tell you the name of it. It's called Jumping Out the Face.
All right,
Jumping Out the Face.
All right, here we go. Let's run. We're gonna run this joint down. It's got a video. Let's see what the fellas think about this right here.
Vibe, man.
Figure that out.
I like it.
You know what's wild? That's one of the cats that I wish like could tour during the summer.
Man, listen, bro.
Like during this time, because he was already getting that exposure. But like this, the festival during this summer would have really took him like to a place. Like I've been on him for a while. Like I like him, Amir.
Yeah, nah, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the Blueberry Fuego record, if Outside was open, that shit would have been way bigger.
Oh, like, nah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a cookout record. That's a whole family record.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's one of them records that people, kids hear in the car when they parents come pick them up from school and shit, and they put their parents onto the record. You know what I'm saying? So I feel the exact same way. Had Homie, like had Outside been open, man, listen, because he already done went platinum like 3 or 4 times.
And he definitely seemed like he would thrive on the homecoming vibes, like getting out of them homecomings and all that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He was already on the Rolling Loud shit and doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was literally, and that goes into what we were saying earlier. He was one of them that was on the runway. Same with Moneybagg Yo. They was on the runway, like you know what I mean? And not to kind of go back to what you were saying, Freeez, but it's been harder for the new artists because they may not have been on that runway.
Even new artists that stream well, they need that outside connection to put it all together.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like to make it real, to make it just, that's what bring it to them. When those two meet up, the outside and the digital meets up, that's the magic. That's when you get the Billboard charts and the Grammys and then all that shit start going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Freeez, have you played that on the new before too? You on the spot all night, Freeez. Have you played Lil Mosey?
Nah, I just got into it today. This is my first time seeing the video. I was listening to the record today.
So we looking for Lions, Bengals, and Bears and jumping out the face this coming Saturday on New Before 2. We looking for that.
Let's do it.
No pressure. No pressure.
Campaign for it. Let's do it.
Freeez, I got you.
Freeez, I'm gonna play one of your joints since we just played like all major joints, major artists. I'm gonna play the Baby Keem joint that you sent. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, which one? Keem is man.
He on fire.
I'll put her in snow mode.
Play this,
how about off-road mode?
Why?
This hooligan record.
I'll be in chill mode.
ProPilot Assist with NaviLink. Available on the all-new Nissan Rogue.
He ain't say one word in the whole video.
Keem hard, yeah.
Yo, he didn't say one word. He just looked the whole time, like, and it's shorty rapping. Yo, that's dope. And we played this. Jason Griffin from Columbia was on the Stu Review before. We played the Keem joint, not the visual though. We didn't have the visual yet. Now the visual, and that's what videos are supposed to do. They're supposed to enhance the record and make it even better. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of that's what's happening with all the visuals that we watched thus far. You know, like they enhance the record. They make the record even better. It's kind of inspiring me to play a joint real quick that I want to play for y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Y'all probably already heard this record maybe. You might have seen the video before, but I'm going to play it and y'all tell me what y'all think. It's my man Lambo Anlo, Black China. We did this video out Cali probably like a year ago now, maybe more now. But it's just a dope visual and a dope record. I want to get y'all a little feelings on
this. She be out rockin' on play. She run it up in the fast way. She want to check in the bad way. Got rich niggas running the rat race. You wanna know if the ass real? She wanna know if the cash fake. Heard that she started on Backpage. Now she on out with a fan base. She's sinful, but the heart is cold. I think it's in the rose. Chopping out her clothes. Section 82 palace. Still to get a little rights. For the keys to the max. She up in that box, I know about her. She wanna wear the ring, got a time ring, yeah, yeah. She taking everything, put it out there, yeah, yeah. She say I only call her for one thing, yeah, yeah. Black giant, always fall for the big booty girl with the blonde hair. That's a real heartbreaker, she don't play fair. Black giant, no. Black giant, no. Got finesse by the best for some new shoes. She could say that you put it like doo-doo. Black giant, no. Only Lord knows all the freaky shit she do to keep from going broke. She got high heels, she be cool low. Got them slanted eyes like she come from Tokyo. Oh, love man, put it on her. Send her home with my hoodie on her. Send her back with my chain on her. Tattoo my name on her. No put it in the same on her. Long way like a man on her. I lay it down and I wake up and I'm laying on her. Yeah, I'm staying on her. She with a big house with a big fence, yeah, yeah. She make college booty make no sense, yeah, yeah. She make moves like a female pimp, yeah, yeah. Black giant, always fall for the big booty girl with the blonde hair. That's a real heartbreaker, she don't play fair. Black giant, no. Black giant, no. Got finesse by the best for some new shoes. She could say that you put it like doo-doo. Like China.
My man Lambo. That's one of my favorite videos, favorite songs. It ain't really get the light that I feel like it should. What you think of that, Money?
Nah, I like that record. I remember when you told me about the visual. I think first of all, I saw him playing at the end. I'm like, okay, but I always like that record.
And you know, Needles produced that. You know, Needles. Cardi B. Like that's a Needles record, and Lambo actually did play the piano on that. He actually he's the one that started off that beat. Like he came in, played that piano riff, and then Needles kind of did some other stuff to it. But that piano riff is mainly the main part of the song. Like it's not even no real drums in the song. So but now I'm gonna put Amir. Now we're gonna put Amir on the spot because we need to get Lambo on Interscope. But look, you know what I'm saying? We was on rostrum with that record. Lambo I got a whole EP with Cool and Dre, you know what I'm saying? With just Lambo. I got more Needles records, but I don't think rostrum. Yeah, we need that Interscope push. Rostrum is, no Wiz there no more. God bless the dead, R.I.P. Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? They not around no more. So Rostrum is has been trying to find their new identity for a long time, and we thought we were gonna be able to do some things with them, but it just ain't work out. And same thing, now that was a different effect. Pandemic hit, that kind of messed it up for the relationship and the ability to, for indie labels, it made it real tough, for them to push through and push their new artists through. So whatever. Freeez, I need that on the new before too, even though it ain't new. Amir, we need that on Interscope. You know what I'm saying? So Money, let's get into one more of your records and another Freeez records, and then we out. Which one you want to do?
You know what? Let's do FIFA Flame. I'm gonna do FIFA.
You do FIFA Flame?
Man, I'm trying to think, man, because both of these records is tough. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, let's do FIFA. Let's do FIFA Flame. So FIFA is an artist from Atlanta. One of my good friends. He told me about it for a second. So I kind of went to Atlanta and messed around with it a little bit. But they really have been going crazy with her, and I like her style, her vibe. You know what I'm saying? I think that a couple more good looks, she could definitely be a star. And like I said, she only got 3 songs out, period. So
wow,
she dope, and she recorded herself. You know what I'm saying? Like she just, you know, I just like her whole vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Check it out. FIFA Fame featuring Ruby Rose, man.
Ain't got time for a nigga, ain't got time for a bitch. Niggas blowing up the phone, put them on a waiting list. If it ain't about a bag, I ain't fucking with shit. Two-tone bust down the wrist, cost about 100 bricks. Bitch, I'm popping, your nigga be watching. Girl, come get your nigga, get you out of pocket. Need a deposit, my bank is too big to be fucking with lames. Bitch, stay in your lane, ain't switching for fame, I gotta maintain. Ruby don't love these niggas, I can't be claimed. Ain't got time for a bitch, finger on the trigger, yeah. Don't come too close, cause I shoot you, yeah. I'ma leave you dead. Get finesse me, all that green honey's bounty on your head. New money make them dance, old money make them scared. Ain't got time for a bitch, finger on the trigger, yeah. Don't come too close, cause I shoot you, yeah. I'ma leave you dead. Get finesse me, all that green honey's bounty on your head. New money make them dance, old money make them scared. I got green honeys, hold on, pull up if I mean mug, you mean something. Kill a hater, beam on them, let these niggas see something. Yeah, I'm coming for a bitch if I put the team on her. Beast on her, yeah. Now she a gunner, yeah, say what you mean from me. From now I went cozy, knock off a hating bitch, yeah, I'ma leave her lonely. If she pull up on me, fuck that, I'ma pull up on her. Hop up out it, yeah, I'ma run up on ya. Hoppin' and pop out the ride. Look what she does, they don't hide. My shooters surround me both sides. We running your house, and that bitch, we slide. Then back to the money, we grind. Yeah, little hoe, we don't waste time. I want the paper, no lie. Come get the beef, hoe, I'm running no. I ain't got time for a bitch. Finger on the trigger, yeah. Don't come too close, cause I shoot you, hoe, yeah. I'ma can't finesse me, hoe, got green, honey, bounty on your head. New money, make them dance. Old money, make them stay. Ain't got time for a bitch. Finger on the trigger, yeah. Don't come too close, cause I shoot you, yeah. I'ma leave you dead. Can't finesse me, all that green, honey's bounty on your head. New money, make them dance. Old money, make them stay.
What's the story on her, Money?
I mean, the funny thing is she just started like really recording probably like a year ago. She's with all the shit she talking about. That's really where what it comes down to, which is why I fuck with her. But she's like, her hustle is like really crazy. And she's from Atlanta.
And is she signed yet or she indie?
Nah. She indie. She not signed yet at all.
All right.
You know me on her.
All right, what you think of that, Freeez? What you think of that joint? Freeez, you on mute. Freeez. Freeez, you on mute. Amir, you still there? Yo, everybody on mute. All right, so we're gonna run your next joint, Money.
Let's do that. So this dude is named Tay Bebe. He's actually from Tampa. He's from Tampa. He's like, I'm gonna be honest, like he's like he went away for six years. He's like the little Boosie of Tampa. He came home. He went away for 6 years. Came home with a boy from out there. So
wow,
over east. You know what I'm saying?
Tampa.
Cuz a star too, right? I ain't gonna lie.
Is he signed? This indie.
He ain't signed yet. I'm working
on it.
Turn my headphones up. Yeah, we on the way, bitch. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know.
Where'd the sound go?
You share the sound too?
Yeah.
Refresh it. I don't know.
Still nothing?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, let me try and get that. The sound was working the whole time. All right. Let's see here. How you find him, Money though? How you find him?
A friend of mine, Reese from Atlanta, who wrote with like Gucci Migos and them. Actually, she told me about him a long time ago, and we did a show in near Tampa last year, and I ended up meeting him, and he was just so raw, but like he really didn't talk about the music. So right. I was like, I thought you were an artist, bro. Like, he's like, oh man, fuck that shit. Like I could do that whenever. So when he played me this record, I was kind of like, yo, like this could really be something crazy. And he was like, yo, I'm telling you, like it's already going crazy. So I played it walking off stage after the show, and a lot of folks knew it. Like, so I just started paying attention to him,
All right, I'm gonna try and play it again, man. Let's see here. Come on. Work with me. I don't even hear the ad.
The ad gonna work.
What is going on here? I don't know what happened. I got sabotaged.
You want me to try it from my side?
Yeah.
You got to give me the pass the aux.
Let's see. You should be able to do it now. I made you co-host, Money.
Hold up. Yep. You're saying, boom.
If Drew didn't film it, then it ain't filmed right.
Time. Yeah. Turn my headphones up. Yeah, we on the way, baby. Tay, yeah. I'm going at the net with this. I'm going at the head with this. Yeah, look, I really like trying to tell these niggas like on real shit, like I'm one of the hottest niggas in the fucking world, on guard, nigga. Really a living legend, nigga. Ask your bitch about it. I fuck around, throw me back a jiggle boy and take flight. Like the trenches, one of them young and tote straight pipes. Got a bad little hood, bitch, but she be with the bullshit, so only time I smoke it is on late nights. She no tape that be the back end, but on another note, just fuck me up a back end. I press a button, drop the top, and then I back in. Know it's a real celebration when I pack in. Hey, my heart colder than a polar bear. I heard they hating on me, though, what I'm supposed to care. No, I'm from OVs, but you can't even come over there. Say we from OVs, you can't come over there. Teeth going, I got lights out. Hey, she a bad bitch, I'm buying flight side. Hey, try to ride away, but he get wiped down. Told twos, nigga told a nigga pipe down. Nigga right now. Yeah, look, hey, I'm going at the head with this. Hey, I'm going at the head with this. Hey, I'm going at the head with this. Hey, I'm going at the head. Boom. Bow, bow. Bow, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rocking.
You know what I'm saying? Good Florida vibes.
That shit rocking. What you think, Freeez?
I was going to say, like, he sounded like a Florida artist. And then, I historically know the sample of the Baltimore
yeah.
sample.
Yeah.
You're teaching me a history lesson right now. That sample from Florida, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. It is. As a Floridian, that's definitely a Florida bop. Hi, by the way, everybody. What's going on?
That joint is definitely a vibe. He's not signed it. Yo, Freeez, you got some joints for New Before too. We're going to call it the New Before
I'm a big fan of Gunplay. So as soon as I heard that like Floridian accent mixed with like some like streetness, like I'm with that.
And of
like,
course,
it a star. Like I'm telling the fact, folks, like I say, he like the Boosie of like Tampa. Like he came home, he did 6 years. He came home and was hotter. Like no records and nothing. Like so, like
they had every gun that every rapper rap about in that video. All the guns that the rappers rap about, every last one of them was in that video.
Another one that's with all the shits. He's with every of the
there
shit.
was no fake. There wasn't no prop guns in that joint. There was no prop guns nowhere in sight in that video. You know what I'm saying? No, I like that joint though, but the video, the record got a vibe to it with the sample, got that Florida bop, that bass vibe.
Yeah.
You know, it could work. You got some work.
And it's different to me because I'm like to hear something so street over some like a beat that's quote unquote up tempo happy is a nice like paradigm, you know.
Is Amir still on? Amir, you still on? Amir running an errand right now. I'm trying to see what he think or if he ever heard of Tay Bay Bay. We gotta.
I got a couple. You know, I stay tapped in. I got a couple, but you told me you said two.
I know. We gotta get. You're gonna be a reoccurring guest. You're gonna be a reoccurring guest, Money.
You know, with that.
Nah, but I definitely, thank y'all for tapping in and sharing some time with me to connect. You know what I'm saying? I love connecting with y'all, vibing, talking about the journeys, talking about what's going on currently, talking about the new music, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to get this uploaded on YouTube so we can share it with other people that want to tap in. You know what I mean? And anything y'all want to leave the people with or leave each other with before we get out of here?
Man, stay focused, man. You know, it's a rough time, man. Stay healthy, stay safe, man. That's it.
Freeez, we got the whole list for New Before 2 this week. It's Stu review list.
Yes. And more, and more. I'm rocking with this.
Nah, that's what's up.
I got introduced to some artists. I like it.
Nah, we gonna make it pop. We're gonna make it pop. All right, but thank y'all again for chiming in. And stay up with me. Talk, we tapped in outside of all of this. So anything y'all need from me, just tap in with me. I got y'all.
Hell yeah. Money is always a blessing, Stu. It's a blessing. Amir. Hey Nadia.
Hey Nadia. Trav.
Hi friends. I miss you guys.
Big Snacks. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
snacks, making snacks.
That Big Snacks, that's Big Leon, you know what I'm saying? So, but everybody that chimed in, definitely thank y'all for chiming in. And we gonna
that Wale record was crazy.
Yeah, that was Lion, Bengals, and Bears. Before two.
I appreciate it. I got some more on the way. Nadia heard some shit. I played her some shit when I was on in the West Coast, so she heard some stuff. Alex Vaughn. I got a couple things coming, man.
That's what I got to do. I got to come out West Coast to hear all the new shit.
Please.
All right.
Please come.
Next, we got a trip
too. Coming, top of the year.
Trip to LA coming. I heard you. Let's get it.
Trip to LA coming.
LLC set up, so I can definitely use a business expense.
We got to do something in DC for the holidays too.
Okay.
I'll be back then. Let's do something.
All right, bet. Let's get it, man. All right, stay up, man. One love to y'all. Thank y'all for chiming in. Stu Review. We out.
Bye, y'all.